What did you wish you knew when you were starting your career?
That's a really good question. I probably would have been well served if I had more technical training and sewing experience. Although I worked in the sewing room, I worked in the cutting room and in pressing. I did not spend a lot of time sewing, and that probably would have helped, even though I understand the principles. I'm not particularly a technical person, so that might have helped. And I learned to rely on people who were good in that area, and fortunately there was a lot of talented people to choose from, and I learned a lot from the employees of my clients, as well as I was fortunate to find some very helpful people along the way who were prepared to take time and train me and enlighten me as to the salient points.
Well, you actually, I think your father, you mentioned, actually had you start in the factories, whether it was the cutting room or so forth, to actually learn from the quote-unquote ground up.
Right. In addition to visiting factories from the time I was born, I would think that I used to visit factories with my dad. When I was a sophomore in college, I decided that I wanted to go into the clothing business, and from that summer I started working in factories in the cutting room and spreading, and then when I graduated in undergraduate, we had a small sport coat factory in North Philadelphia, and I worked there and not only ran the factory, but worked in the sewing line as what's called a bundle boy, moving the work around and process there, and I did pressing, I did die cutting, a number of different operations. As a small business owner, it's a question of doing whatever's necessary, and in addition to dealing with human resource situation vis-a-vis fights between operators. So there was the whole range of experiences that I had.